Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcore Guys, being my guide for Uncharted Drake's Fortune on Crushing Difficulty. Today we're doing Chapter 6, entitled Unlocking the Past. So this one is also going to be a bit difficult, just like it was back with Chapter 5. There's a few little spots here and there that I found that helped me with, of course, defeating enemies. The first major problem that I had was this little fight right here. So as soon as this fight starts, I instantly whip out the AK and start mowing down these two in front of me. Of course, headshots are recommended, so that way you can get through them a lot faster, but what I'm trying to do there was kill them, get them out of my way, and then run back through here, and then shoot that guy to the right, come back around this way, and try to get rid of this guy that's up this way. There's a lot of ways in that sentence, wasn't there? So, this guy, he's already spawned in, but there's another group that will actually spawn in when you reach the top of these stairs, and that's basically just to kind of flank you. I tried throwing a grenade to see if that would work, and maybe I can stop them from, well, you know, coming at me or just get them in one go, but unfortunately I was unsuccessful, and I just said, screw it, whatever, I'll just stick down here, because for some reason, every time I run up there, up to the top of the stairs, I always end up dying. So I gave up and just took the fight down here instead. Went for headshots, and funny enough, it ended up actually working out pretty well. But yeah, this is, for the most part, a direct continuation from Chapter 5. As in, we're basically still in the same fortress area, but this time we have some more platforming / puzzle type stuff going on. The early parts of Uncharted 1 are definitely very, fight platform. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of just Uncharted, I guess, in general, but you don't really solve a ton of puzzles, at least in Uncharted 1. Uncharted 2, I remember having a lot more puzzles, and then, Uncharted 3 had puzzles as well, but, yeah, Uncharted 3 had a lot of puzzles. Yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah. I don't know. Either way, so we're kind of safe for now. You don't need to worry about fighting anybody. It's just back to the traditional climbing section, pretty much. I don't know why, but I could have sworn I've done this chapter, as in like a recorded commentary for it already. I have not. Also, maybe I should start taking cues from my older guides and kind of relax when it comes to doing commentary for Uncharted, because there are those times where nothing's really kind of going on, so take a breather, one would say. Go a little in the casual realm of things and not be so, I guess, uptight about everything, because, to be fair, even though things are going on, at the very least, nothing difficult is happening, so. And yeah, QuickTime events was not really a big thing in Uncharted 1, but they definitely were there. And, QuickTime events came before the PS3. I mean, you had games like God of War that already had them. So, Uncharted being a launch title, or close to, I think it was like a year after launch for the PS3, I think. Having QuickTime events, makes sense. But thankfully, they did kind of take him out in the later games. Also, I did die, if you're wondering, like, what was up with that edit. That was actually me dying because I jumped too far with the Uncharted 1 jumping thing, where you're trying to jump from ledge to ledge or whatever, and sometimes you just kind of overshoot because Drake just, I don't know, his lock-on's really weird. So I understand that people might say, like, well, that's just, the usual Johns. You're just blaming the game for that point. And if you've played Uncharted 1, you'll know what I'm talking about when it comes to trying to climb. There's those situations where Drake feels weirdly stiff when it comes to jumping. It's very odd. And you'll try to jump from like one ledge, like one horizontal ledge to another, and he'll just go careening off and completely miss anything or just, even if you weren't trying to jump towards something, but there's something that could save you horizontally, Drake will just not even bother grabbing it. So that's just Uncharted 1 Johns at that point. And now we are engaging into another fight. Something I would consider somewhat difficult, but I tried out another little exploit I found. So once again, just, the typical hiding behind cover thing. What you do here is you run out here, you get this guy to spawn and start shooting with the turret. And I hide behind that cover first so that I can make my way back here. I know I'm taking a lot of damage, and I understand that if this was brutal, I'd be dead. But basically, you want to wait for him to stop shooting and then run. And then when you run back here, hide behind this door and just aim in and shoot these guys coming down. And just kind of pay attention mostly to like how many enemies are around or where they're coming from. So that way they don't, get the jump on you. As in, there's that little, sort of small area there to the right that I'm looking at currently that I feel like sometimes somebody might get underneath my vision or away from my vision for like a second and hide in there, and then they just show up, and then they just kind of make their way around to these pillars. But fortunately enough, no, that didn't happen, but I still have more guys to deal with. I think these guys just spawn, I believe, after the first wave, because there's at least multiples of them. I could throw a grenade, of course, but for some reason, when it comes to grenades, at least in Uncharted 1, I'm very, very strangely conservative about using them. I think it's because grenades just don't really seem to kill nearly as often, it feels like, so you probably won't see me use them very much. Even if I do get a kill with a grenade, it's typically just one kill, and that kind of sucks. But right now, what I gotta do right now is just basically move up to this little bit of cover, grab the M79 and blow him up. Now, technically, you could always just grab that right then and there to save yourself the trouble, because I'm pretty sure it's spawned in. Actually, I could be wrong about that. I don't remember. But I would assume it's probably spawned in at the very beginning. So, to give you the ability to blow up the turret and then run back. I'm getting massive deja vu with this. I mean, it's very possible that when I was playing this on Crushing back in the day, maybe I was thinking about, like, what's this going to look like when it comes to a guide format, that kind of thing. Maybe I was thinking about that during that time. Who knows? Anything could happen. Speaking of guide stuff, this might excite some people. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but I'll need a bit of practice. Actually, before that, let's talk about this real fast. So I got the Wes. It's just like a one-shot, one-kill type thing. And it's got 6 bullets, so make it count. Make these guys ragdoll, that sort of thing. Shotgunners take about 2 shots. And watch out for the guy to the right here, because he's just standing there ready. Preemptively. Preemptively spawned in. Yeah, it makes these guys just go jumping up high. And we're not done yet, of course. We still got more enemies, but I'm going to go and just hunker down to keep myself in safety. I'm trying to make sure that I grab whatever pistol I can. And micros are really good against shotgunners, actually. Even though they're short range, that type of thing. But they are still pretty good when it comes to doing that. Micro was never really a bad gun. It's just that the short range for me is something I don't really need. Even though the AK has long-ish range, it's still just kind of better to use a pistol if you really want to get those more accurate shots. Which is something that, kind of comes into play when it comes to Uncharted 1, at least. I think we're fine now. I'm gonna get shot from the outside, but there's nothing I can really do about it. And it's just a big giant waste of bullets to even bother trying. I think you can use the turret, if I remember correctly, but I'm not gonna mess with it. But anyway, so I have some potential guide ideas in the future of mind. And that's mainly because I've been marathoning through the Halo games. So maybe one day we'll get to see some Halo. I've been thinking about doing it backwards, actually, starting from... If I ever do get Infinite, I can always just start with Infinite first. But I don't have Infinite yet. But I could always start with, 5, make my way back, and that sort of thing. I know I do guides really weird, because there's certain games I'll do in order, and certain games I won't, and God of War is a weird exception with its type of thing, because I didn't really do it level by level. It's really weird, but still. Alright, so, yeah, that first group, as soon as you die and you get respawned here, which is what happened to me, you have a chance to just throw a grenade. And that's, one of those few times that you'll pretty much once again see me throw a grenade, because I'm not really confident with grenade throws. And there's likely only about 3 enemies, just the 2 that spawn in there, and then just the 1 to the right. So, nothing too bad, but still. And then here's me forgetting exactly where to go. As you can tell, it's been a while, folks. It's really been a while since I played Uncharted 1. I couldn't tell you the last time I played. I want to say maybe 22, maybe, if even that. And from what it looks like, I've only played about maybe 5 chapters worth, so I've got about around here and then kind of just stopped because I didn't beat the full thing on crushing yet, apparently. Unless it just overrode. Well, I mean, I overrode my save, I know that, but even then still. It doesn't matter, it's Uncharted. You'll get through it somehow. You have regenerating health, I mean, there's no excuse when it comes to these types of things, even though I say that, but yet I'm kind of worried about the Halo games on Legendary because I've heard the horror stories about them being extremely hard, so I wouldn't be surprised. I've beaten a couple of them already just on heroic difficulty, so I'm not exactly fully prepared, but I'm definitely preparing for it. Oh, my bad, that was not supposed to pop up. You know what? Screw it, it's Uncharted. I don't care. I'm not redoing the entire commentary just because of one flub up. I'll let that one go. This is one of those rare times of hardcore and being a little different, being a little silly. So either way, all you gotta do there is just shoot one guy and then you get caught, and pretty much that's it. And we just move and transition on to Chapter 7 next. So that'll be the next clip you get to see. Anyway, that's it. So take care, everybody.